You don't water your grass because you are too busy watching someone else's garden. But you don't know the storms they had to survive. You don't know the price they paid. Sometimes you are comparing the chapter 10 to your chapter 2. That ain't fair. They had their struggle seasons too. They just don't post that part. You are only seeing the shine, not the scars. Stay in your lane. You are not late, you are just on a different route. Every person is running a different race. Some take longer, some get rerouted, some hit walls before they reach windows. That's part of the game. Stop treating your delay like it's denial. You are not forgotten. You are being shaped in silence. God didn't create clones, He created originals. You were never meant to copy their moves. You were meant to carve your path. And it's okay if your journey looks messy. Sometimes it has to get ugly before it turns beautiful. Some people get there quickly, but they don't last. You might be taking longer because what you are building is meant to stand. Don't despise the slow seasons. That's where roots are going deep. That's where character is forged. That's where you learn how to carry what's coming. The truth is, your journey will only start making sense once you stop trying to make it look like someone else's. Comparison is a thief and is stealing your peace, your pace, and your purpose. That vision you have, that dream you keep seeing in your mind, that's not random. That's your calling. That's your blueprint. That's the purpose of whispering loudly. You can't shake it off because it wasn't meant to be ignored. It's the seed of destiny planted inside you. You keep second guessing it because nobody else sees it. But they weren't meant to. It wasn't downloaded into their spirit, it was given to yours. That's why they can't understand why you won't quit, why you won't settle, why you keep pushing even when it's hard. If you could easily let it go, it wouldn't be your assignment. But it haunts you in the best way. It keeps showing up in your thoughts. That vision is your responsibility. And what you do with it will determine who you become. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need 10 confirmations. What you need to stop running from is what you know you were made to do. You keep praying for a sign, but that vision is the sign. That restlessness, that's your spirit trying to wake you up. Even when you feel unqualified, understand this, you were chosen. You weren't picked because you had it all together. You were picked because you grow through it. The vision isn't based on your perfection, it's based on your potential. Vision requires obedience, not comfort. You are not going to understand it all at once. You might not even like what it demands, but that's the price of purpose. It will stretch you. It will require sacrifice, but it will also bless others through you. You were created to build something bigger than your fears, bigger than your past, bigger than what they said about you. That vision you carry, it's waiting on your courage, not your credentials. You don't give yourself enough credit. You keep looking at where you are and ignoring how far you have come. You are measuring your progress by what's missing instead of what's been gained. But growth isn't always loud. It's not always something you can see on paper. Sometimes the real growth isn't what didn't break you, in what you didn't quit on. And in what you learned to learn, you have been through stuff that could have crushed you. Stuff that almost took you out mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but you are still here. You are still standing. That's not luck, that's resilience. That's the strength people don't see, the fight nobody claps for, the progress no one applauds. But it's real. Just because the world didn't cheer for you doesn't mean heaven didn't notice. You think progress means everything's perfect. No, sometimes progress is when you don't cry like you used to, when you are not reacting the way you used to, when you are handling disappointment with a calmer heart. That's growth, that's maturity. That's you becoming who you were meant to be, one challenge at a time. Don't disrespect the new version of you just because you are still fighting some old battles. The problem is you are using the wrong scoreboard. You are looking for money, titles, or public validation as proof that you are moving forward. But the real scoreboard is your peace, your discipline, your healing, your ability to stand up and try again when nothing makes sense. You have grown wiser. You have learned who's for you and who's not. You have stopped settling. That's not a small thing. You have made progress every time you chose patience over panic. Every time you choose silence over revenge. Every time you forgave when you had the right to stay bitter. Every time you showed up when quitting seemed easier. Don't minimize those moments. They were steps. Steps that counted. Steps that built something inside of you that can't be taken away. You might not be where you want to be, but look again, you are not where you used to be. The mindset you have now is stronger. The way you pray, the way you move, the way you protect your peace, that's a different version of you. One that had to be built through experience, not shortcuts. And even though the road has been rough, it's still moving forward beneath your feet. You have already walked through what most people wouldn't survive. That alone should tell you something about the strength you carry. You didn't notice because you have been too focused on what's next, but pause for a second. Look at what's behind you, not to turn back, but to realize you have been making more progress than you thought. Nobody signs up for pain, but everybody wants strength. You can't have one without the other. The moments that hit the hardest, the ones that made you question everything, those are the same moments molding your character. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. There are lessons wrapped inside every struggle, but you have got to stop resisting and start receiving what they are trying to teach you. You pray for growth, but growth doesn't come in comfort. Growth comes when life hits you sideways and you have to figure out how to stand back up. It comes when you feel like quitting, but choose to keep going. You are in the middle of a shaping season and the heat you feel isn't random. Diamonds are made under pressure, and pressure is what you have been carrying day in and day out. The struggle is carving out the parts of you that can't come with you to the next level. That fear, that pride, that impatience being burned off. You are not losing yourself. You are losing the version that was okay with being average. That fight you are in is stretching muscles you didn't know you had. The longer it lasts, the stronger you become. There's a toughness building in your spirit that only hardship can create. You don't get wisdom from winning all the time. You get wisdom from going through the fire, from being knocked down, and deciding to get back up smarter. Struggle teaches you how to listen better, trust deeper, work harder, and pray more honestly. It teaches you how to be resourceful, how to survive when the plan breaks, and how to keep your faith alive when everything feels wrong. That's a different kind of strength, and it's growing in you right now. You are not weak because you feel tired. You are not broken because you cried last night. You are in a refining season, and refining ain't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to remove the parts of you that were too soft for the weight you are about to carry. Your spirit is in training. The more pressure you feel, the more you are being shaped for something greater than what you can currently see. It's hard to trust the process when the process hurts, but look closely, you are gaining endurance. You are learning how to move even when you are unsure. You are discovering that your strength was never based on how easy life was, but on how you responded when it got hard. The grind you are under is doing something sacred, is toughening your skin and softening your heart at the same time. People look at you and think you are just surviving, but you are evolving. They don't know how many battles you have had to fight just to smile. They don't know the silent nights, the heavy mornings, the anxious afternoons, but you kept showing up. You kept pushing. That's the struggle doing its work, building you up from the inside quietly but powerfully. You keep looking around and hearing nothing. No signs, no breakthroughs, no clarity. And it's starting to wear on your soul. You have been praying, you have been doing the work, but everything feels quiet. That silence can feel like a void, like maybe you are being overlooked or forgotten. But silence isn't always abandonment, sometimes it's alignment. Things are shifting behind the scenes, even when your eyes and ears can't detect it yet. When everything gets quiet, your mind starts filling in the blanks with fear. You start assuming the worst. You start thinking nothing's changing. But just like a seed grows underground in complete silence before it ever breaks the surface, your life is developing roots right now. Just because it's not loud doesn't mean it's not working. The most powerful transformations happen out of sight. Some of the strongest seasons are the quiet ones. Because that's when you learn to depend on faith instead of noise. That's when you realize you weren't building your strength on hype, but on obedience. That's when your character gets tested, because it's easy to believe when things are loud, but real belief is built in the quiet. That stillness is not punishment, it's preparation for what's next. You want constant updates, but growth doesn't work like that. Sometimes life goes silent to sharpen your hearing, not your ears, but your spiritual ears. So you can start to hear the small instructions. So you can recognize whispers, not just roars. You've been looking for God in the thunder, but maybe he's in the still small voice. Maybe he's teaching you how to trust without evidence. When you feel like nothing is happening, ask yourself, what am I being called to develop right now? Patience, focus, humility? The silence might be a test, or it might be a gift, a moment to catch your breath before the next season begins. But don't mistake it for absence. The quiet season is when warriors are made, not when they are abandoned. It's in the silence that you become resourceful. You stop relying on external motivation and start finding internal discipline. You stop needing applause and start listening to the assignment. It's in the silence that your vision becomes clearer. Because distractions fade and your spirit starts hearing what your ego drowned out. The silence is not empty, it's full of instruction if you stay present. You are not being ignored. You are being strengthened in the shadows. You are being pulled away from the noise so you can be rooted in something deeper. Just like an artist steps back from the canvas to see the whole picture, sometimes life steps back from you so the masterpiece can take shape without interference. You have been holding back, not because you don't believe in your gift, but because you are waiting on someone else to believe in it first. You keep thinking you need someone to co-sign your dream before it becomes valid. But the truth is, some people won't clap for you until the crowd does. Some people won't see your worth until it's popular to do so. And if you keep waiting for them to get it, you will waste years standing still. You have got to stop handing your power to people who've never built anything. You are letting people who never walked your path tell you what you should or shouldn't do. They don't know your pain. They don't see your vision. They don't understand the fire in your chest. And you are letting their silence or skepticism make you question what was divinely planted in you. That's not humility, that's hesitation disguised as fear. You weren't created to fit into their box. You weren't meant to shrink yourself for their comfort. Every time you dim your light so someone else doesn't feel uncomfortable, you betray your potential. You were born to shine. You were born to be different. And being different doesn't need a permission slip. You don't need their go-ahead. You already have the call, and now act like it. Some of the greatest moves you will ever make will be misunderstood at first. That's okay. Vision is lonely at the beginning. Purpose will cost you popularity. Obedience will make you look crazy until it works. Let people whisper. Let them question you. Just don't let it stop you. You have got to be so locked in on your purpose that their doubt becomes background noise. You can't live your life for applause. You can't let likes validate you. People will hype you today and ghost you tomorrow. You will kill your momentum trying to keep everybody pleased. But purpose isn't about being liked, it's about being faithful to what you were called to do. When you need less approval, you start making more progress. You stop explaining yourself. You stop seeking validation for every move. You weren't called to be understood by everyone. Some people will misunderstand your intentions no matter how pure they are. That's not your problem. Your job is to keep building, keep speaking, keep moving. You weren't meant to blend in, you were meant to lead. And leaders don't ask for permission. They take steps others are too scared to take. Your destiny can't wait for their opinions to catch up. You have got work to do, dreams to chase, walls to break, generational curses to end. That can't happen while you are stuck trying to convince people to believe in you. You don't need them to believe, you need to believe enough for both of you. You keep looking around thinking you are falling behind like everyone's moving faster than you. But what if your timing is exactly what it needs to be? What if rushing is the real danger? You are being built for something specific, not something fast. You are comparing your pace to people on a completely different journey, not realizing that shortcuts often collapse under pressure. Fast doesn't always mean ready. We live in a world addicted to speed. Everyone wants to blow up overnight, go viral, make millions in a month, but what you build fast often falls apart even faster. Solid things take time. Long-lasting things need deep foundations. You are not late, you are learning. You are growing. You are building something that's going to last, not something that just looks good for a season. You have been conditioned to think that slow means failure, but some of the greatest successes had the slowest beginnings. You just don't see that part of the story. You don't see the nights they cried, the years they were ignored, the grind nobody posted. All you see is the highlight reel, and you use that to beat yourself up. But what if your slow pace is protecting your purpose? There's nothing wrong with taking time to figure it out, to try and fail, to heal and regroup. Life isn't a race, it's a process. And everybody's process is different. Some people are on chapter 20, and you are just on chapter 5. That doesn't make you less, that makes you in progress. Stop measuring your journey with someone else's ruler. It was never meant to fit. You are building capacity in the slow seasons. You are learning discipline, patience, and faith. You are learning how to stand on your own when no one's clapping for you. You are being tested, not stalled. Every delay is teaching you something that success can't. You are not stuck, you are being shaped for what's next. And that shaping takes time. There's a reason slow cooked meals taste better. They have had time to absorb everything. The same goes for you. You are absorbing strength. You are absorbing resilience. You are absorbing wisdom. You are not moving slowly, you are maturing. You are not stagnant, you are becoming rooted. And rooted people can handle storms that rush people get blown away by. The goal isn't speed, it's sustainability. You don't want to just arrive, you want to stay there when you get there. You want to be prepared for the weight of your blessing. You want your foundation to hold when the pressure comes. That takes time. That takes repetition. That takes with yourself, even when you feel behind. That thing you wish never happened, that moment that shattered your heart, stole your joy, or made you question your worth, you have been carrying it like dead weight. But what if the very thing that tried to break you is the same thing God is going to use to bless others through you? What if that pain wasn't pointless? What if it was preparation? You didn't go through all that for nothing. You didn't just survive that hurt, you grew through it. You cried your way forward. You wrestled with your doubts, your fears, and your anger. And even when you didn't understand why, you kept moving. That heartbreak made you more compassionate. That betrayal gave you discernment. That loss taught you how to value what remains. That's not weakness, that's transformation in disguise. Pain rewires perspective. It humbles you, it quiets your ego, it brings you back to what matters. You start praying differently when you have been broken. You stop judging people once you have suffered too. That's how pain becomes purpose, not when it disappears. But when you use it to love deeper, speak stronger, and live more honestly. You don't have to erase the wound, just let God turn it into a witness. You think you are disqualified because of your past. But God doesn't call the flawless. He calls the healed. He calls the honest. He calls the ones who've been through the fire and didn't let the flames consume their faith. He'll take that mess and turn it into a message. He'll take that shame and turn it into strength. You are not broken beyond use, you are broken into position. Some people will be set free because you chose to speak up about what you went through. Someone out there is battling what you already overcame. Your scars will be their survival guide. That pain becomes power when you stop hiding it and start owning it. It becomes a purpose when you stop pretending and start pouring it to someone who needs it. It doesn't mean what hurt you was right. It doesn't mean it didn't cut deep. But it means it's not the end of your story. It means there's redemption ahead. It means that nothing is wasted, not even the worst days. It means that even the dark chapters are part of the divine storyline, and those ashes you sit in right now, they are about to be the soil where something beautiful grows. You keep asking, why me? But maybe the real question is, now what? Now that it's happened, what are you going to do with it? Let it eat you alive, or let it wake up your purpose. Let it keep you bitter, or let it make you better. That pain didn't come to define you, it came to develop you. Everybody wants to be successful, but very few want to be obedient, because obedience means doing what's required even when it doesn't feel good. It means showing up when you don't feel motivated, being disciplined when nobody's watching, and making decisions based on purpose, not comfort. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Obedience is where purpose comes alive. Success doesn't respond to emotions, it responds to effort. Some days you are not going to feel like working. Some days you are not going to feel inspired. But if you only move when you feel good, you will never build anything that lasts. Obedience is when you move anyway. When you still write, still train, still pray, still plan, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Comfort tells you to stay where it's safe. Obedience tells you to go where you are called. The two don't walk together. The greatest version of your life will require you to leave some things behind, old habits, familiar places, sometimes even people who only knew the old version of you. That shedding process is not comfortable, but it's critical for your breakthrough. You can't walk in your purpose and stay attached to your excuses. At some point, you've got to make a decision. Do I want to stay comfortable or do I want to grow? Because you won't get both. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort forces you to stretch. It shows you how strong your faith is, how bad you want it, and how disciplined your heart is. Obedience also means trusting the process when it doesn't make sense. You are not always going to understand why you are being told to move a certain way. Sometimes you will feel like it's costing you more than it's paying you, but that's the thing about obedience, the reward doesn't show up right away. It shows up later when your character is ready to carry the weight of the blessing. You might have to obey your way through silence, through setbacks, through sacrifices. And that's where most people quit. Not because they weren't talented, but because they weren't consistent. They stopped being obedient when it got uncomfortable. But the ones who win are the ones who keep walking even when nothing looks certain. They trust what they started, and they stay committed without needing constant validation. Comfort wants you to settle. Obedience pushes you in alignment. And when you are in alignment, doors open. Strength increases. Clarity arrives. But it doesn't come cheap, it costs convenience. You will have to wake up earlier, say no to things that waste your time, and commit to routines that most people avoid. That's the price of success, and obedience is how you pay it. You see the delay, and your first thought is that it's denial. That's the end of the road. But delay is not denial, it's just a pause. A pause that feels longer than you wanted, but a pause nonetheless. You are not being stopped. You are being slowed down, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Sometimes God delays the blessing so you can be ready to receive it without losing it. Delays test your patience like nothing else can. They test your faith, your commitment, and your hunger. That silence, that waiting room, that space in your calendar, it's a test ground for your character. Are you going to stay faithful in the waiting? Or are you going to give up just before the breakthrough? Most people quit at the pause and never see how close they were to victory. Temporary delays teach you things success can't teach. They teach you humility when pride tries to rush. They teach you endurance when your body wants to stop. They teach you wisdom when impatience tries to drive your decisions. They teach you how to handle the blessing so you don't lose it. Sometimes the reason you haven't gotten what you want is because you are not ready for what you are asking for. It's easy to feel forgotten when things aren't moving fast, but just because you don't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. There's quiet work happening behind the scenes that your eyes can't detect. Your preparation is in the pause. Your growth is in the gap. The delay is God's way of working on things you can't work on yourself. Delays also protect you. Sometimes the door you want to walk through is the wrong door. Sometimes God delays your blessing because someone else's timing isn't right. That pause might be preventing you from rushing into the wrong relationship, the wrong job, the wrong business. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match your schedule. You have to learn to trust the process more than the pace. Stop trying to speed things up with anxiety or frustration. When you push too hard, you risk missing the better opportunity that's on the way. Sometimes waiting longer means winning bigger. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a strategy. It's the difference between a good life and a great one. Every delay is temporary, but the lessons it teaches can last a lifetime. If you can keep faith during the pause, you will come out stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you ever thought possible. Don't let a delay convince you that your dream is dead. It's just resting before it rises. Your words are more powerful than you realize. They aren't just sounds you make, they are seeds you plant in your mind and spirit. When you speak negatively about yourself, you are planting weeds. But when you speak life, faith, and truth, you are watering growth. What you say about yourself shapes your confidence, your mindset, and ultimately your reality. Too many people walk around carrying the weight of words they spoke long ago. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I will never make it. Those words become chains that hold them back. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to break those chains by changing the story you tell yourself every day. Speak what you want to see come alive. Affirmations aren't just feel-good quotes. They are spiritual tools to reprogram your mind. When you say, I am capable, I am growing, I am worthy, you are rewiring your brain to focus on possibilities instead of problems. The words you choose become the soundtrack of your life. If it's full of doubt, you are setting yourself up for failure. If it's full of faith, you are setting yourself up for victory. You've got to catch yourself when you start slipping into negative self-talk. When that inner critic pipes up, shut it down. You wouldn't let someone else talk to you like that. Don't allow your voice to do it there. Replace lies with truth. Replace fear with hope. Replace doubt with confidence. You are not just talking to yourself, you are training yourself. There's a direct connection between your words and your actions. If you keep telling yourself you can't, you won't try. If you keep telling yourself you are a failure, you will act like one. But when you start speaking encouragement to yourself, your actions will follow. You will take risks. You will push harder. You will believe longer. Your mouth is your first weapon in the battle for your future. Words have power because they influence your feelings and beliefs, and your feelings and beliefs influence your behavior. When you speak positively, you change your mood and mindset. That shift fuels motivation and keeps you moving forward. Negative words do the opposite. They drain your energy and make you want to quit. Your words are either building or breaking your dreams. If you want to change your life, start by changing your speech. Make a habit of speaking hope, strength, and faith over yourself. Don't wait for someone else to affirm you. Permit yourself to rise. Speak what you need to become. Your voice is the foundation of your victory. Guard it fiercely and use it wisely. Sometimes the biggest mistake you make is thinking that progress has to be huge to matter. You look at the mountain ahead, the dream so big it feels impossible, and you freeze because the first step feels too small. But small steps aren't insignificant. They are the heartbeat of every journey. Every giant leap you admire was made up of countless small steps. Small steps build momentum. When you show up consistently, even if it's just a little, you are sending a message to your brain and spirit, I'm committed. That message turns into a habit, and habit turns into growth. It's not about how fast you go, it's about staying on the path. The steps might be small, but they are moving you. You are not standing still, you are advancing. Don't get discouraged if you feel like you are crawling while others are running. Sometimes crawling is all you can do, and that's okay. What matters is that you are moving forward, not backward. Small steps add up. They close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Each one is a victory over doubt, fear, and procrastination. You might not see immediate results, and that's where most people quit. They expect to sprint, and when they don't, they get frustrated. But progress is a process. It's a series of small wins stacked on top of each other. What feels slow today will feel like a sprint when you look back. Trust that every small move is a brick in your foundation. Celebrate the small victories. Finish the task you avoided. That's progress. Did it take 5 minutes to pray or meditate? That's progress. Sent that email, made that call, wrote that page. That's progress. When you acknowledge these steps, you fuel your motivation to keep going. You remind yourself that every little effort counts. The problem is that the mind wants to see an immediate payoff. The mind wants to feel success before it believes it. But real success is patient. It's persistent. It doesn't need a trophy every day, it just needs you to keep moving. And if you keep taking those small steps, no matter how small, the breakthrough will come. Don't underestimate the power of showing up. Small steps create a rhythm that leads to breakthroughs. They keep you accountable to yourself. They build confidence that you can trust your ability to keep going. Progress is progress, no matter the size. Keep stepping, keep moving, you are closer than you think. Too many people walk around pretending they have it all together. They put on a mask of confidence and strength because they are afraid to show weakness. But fake strength isn't strength at all, it's a cover-up. Real strength is honest. It's vulnerable. It admits when it's hurting, when it's tired, when it needs help. And that honesty is what makes you truly powerful. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. The pressure to always be strong, always be put together is exhausting. It keeps you from being real with yourself and with others. Strength isn't about hiding your struggles, it's about facing them head on. It's about getting back up after you fall, even when you are scared or broken. The world might expect you to be a rock, but even rocks erode. Even the strongest mountains face storms and cracks. That's not failure, that's life. Strength isn't about never breaking, it's about how you heal when you do. When you allow yourself to be real, you invite healing and growth. You build resilience that fake strength could never touch. It's okay to admit when you don't know the next step. It's okay to say you are overwhelmed or scared. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And humanity is what connects you to others. It creates empathy. It builds community. You don't have to carry the weight alone, and you don't have to pretend that you do. Fake strength puts on a brave face but hides the truth underneath. Real strength looks different. It shows up with tears and doubts but keeps walking. It asks for help when needed. It's patient with itself. Real strength is a journey, not a destination. And it's available to you the moment you stop pretending. When you stop faking strength, you free yourself. You stop exhausting your spirit trying to maintain a lie. You allow yourself to rest and recharge. You open the door to authentic growth. You become stronger because your strength is no longer a facade, it's rooted in truth and experience. You don't need to fake strength to be respected or loved. People respect realness. People connect with authenticity. The sooner you embrace your true self flaws, fears, and all the sooner you unlock the power that comes from being genuine. Real strength comes from being real. When God plants a vision inside you, it's not meant to fit comfortably into your current environment. The vision calls for change. It demands separation from old habits, toxic relationships, and familiar places that no longer serve your growth. You can't keep chasing what's next if you are still tied to what's behind. The bigger the vision, the bigger the shift needed. Separation doesn't mean loneliness, it means making space for what God is doing in your life. Sometimes that means distancing yourself from people who don't support your dreams or who try to pull you back into old patterns. It means cutting ties with things that drain your energy or distract your focus. That's not easy, but it's necessary. The truth is, your environment shapes your mindset more than you realize. If you want to step into your vision, you have to step out of what's comfortable. You have to surround yourself with people who challenge you, encourage you, and believe in your potential. You have to create space for new opportunities by letting go of what no longer fits. Separation also means protecting your time and energy fiercely. It means saying no to things that don't align with your purpose. It means prioritizing what matters, even when others don't understand. You are not being selfish, you are being strategic. Every note of distraction is a yes to your vision. Sometimes separation feels like loss. You might miss old friends, familiar routines, or certain comforts. That's natural. But growth always requires sacrifice. If you are willing to pay the price now, you will position yourself to receive blessings you never imagined. The discomfort of separation is temporary, the rewards last a lifetime. You can't hold on to the past and grab the future at the same time. The vision is calling you to new heights, But you can't climb if you are carrying old baggage. The heavier your load, the slower you go. Let go of what's holding you back. Make room for what's ahead. Separation is a sign you are moving in the right direction. It means you are evolving. It means your vision is bigger than your comfort zone. Embrace the process. Protect your path. And remember, what you let go of today is making way for what you are about to receive. You look around and feel like everyone else has gotten ahead while you are still waiting in the same spot. You wonder if you missed your chance or if you took a wrong turn somewhere. But here's the truth, you are still on time. Your journey is unique. And your timing is perfect even if it doesn't feel that way. Life isn't about who gets there first, it's about who gets there ready. Sometimes we measure success by clocks and calendars, but God measures by seasons. Your season might be different from someone else's, but that doesn't make it late or early, it just makes it yours. You are right where you need to be. The delays, the detours, the setbacks, they are not signs of failure. They are part of your preparation. You have to stop comparing your timeline to everyone else's highlight reel. Social media and stories only show the wins, never the waiting room. Behind every success is a season of quiet, unseen work. You are still in that room building, learning, and growing. It's easy to get discouraged, but remember, a seed grows underground before it breaks through the soil. There's no rush when you are aligning with your purpose. Sometimes the waiting is the training ground for what's ahead. The patience you develop now will serve you better than rushing into the wrong opportunity. The faith you build in this season will sustain you through the storms to come. Your timing is part of your strength. You are not late. You are not behind. You are unfolding in your perfect way. The doors you are waiting for are being prepared for you. The people you are meant to meet are being positioned. The opportunities you want are being crafted to fit the readiness that's growing inside you. Trust the process even when it feels slow. When you think you are running out of time, remember that some things are worth waiting for. You want the right job, the right partner, the right breakthrough, not just anything. Rushing leads to regret. Patience leads to peace. Keep moving forward with faith, knowing that your story is still unfolding exactly as it should. Don't let impatience steal your joy. Celebrate the journey you are on, not just the destination. Your season is happening and you are right on time. Trust that what's for you won't pass you by. You are not late, you are exactly where you need to be. Right now you are in the middle of a story that feels confusing, messy, and overwhelming. The struggles, the setbacks, the detours, they don't seem to add up. You wonder why you had to face so much pain or why the timing feels so off. But here's what you have to remember. The full picture isn't clear until you step back and look behind you. Life is like a puzzle. When you are holding the pieces in your hands, it looks random and chaotic. You see the rough edges and the odd shapes, and it's hard to imagine how they fit together. But when you finally lay out all the pieces on the table, the image becomes clear. That's what your journey is doing right now, assembling the pieces so the picture of your purpose emerges. Every tough season, every heartbreak, every delay was a necessary part of that picture. Those moments taught you lessons you wouldn't have learned otherwise. They gave you wisdom, resilience, and strength. Sometimes the past seemed pointless, but it was building something inside of you. You are being prepared for what's next in ways you can't yet understand. When you look back, you will see how the people who walked away made room for the ones who are meant to stay. You will see how the failures redirected you toward your purpose. You will realize that the prayers you thought were unanswered were being answered in ways you couldn't expect. The journey will make sense because every piece served a purpose. You might be tempted to rush ahead, to skip the confusing parts, or to wish you could fast forward to the good days. But don't. Every step, even the painful ones, is part of your growth. You are writing a story that will inspire others because you didn't give up in the chapters nobody else wanted to read. Your journey is building your legacy. One day you will stand in a place of clarity and look behind you with gratitude. You will see that the confusion was guidance. The setbacks were setups. The pain was a pathway. You will understand why things had to happen the way they did, not because they were easy, but because they were necessary. The journey might not make sense right now, but trust that it will. Keep walking, keep believing, and keep trusting that every step is leading you somewhere meaningful. The pieces are coming together even if you can't see the whole picture yet. You started this journey for a reason because deep inside you there's a dream that won't let go. You began with hope, fire, and a vision that felt bigger than any fear. But somewhere along the way, the obstacles piled up, the motivation faded, and the doubts crept in. Now you are wondering if it's even worth finishing. Let me remind you, you owe it to yourself to finish what you started. Finishing isn't just about crossing a finish line. It's about proving to yourself that your dreams matter enough to fight for. When you finish, you are telling your younger self, your family, your spirit, and the world that giving up was never an option. You are showing that your commitment runs deeper than your struggles. You are proving that your faith in yourself is stronger than your fear. The journey might be hard. The path might be rough. But quitting won't make it easier. It will only steal your potential. Every time you feel like stopping, remember why you began. Remember the vision that sparked your fire. Remember the promises you made to yourself in your quiet moments. Those are your fuel when the world tries to tell you you are done. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go. You owe it to yourself to show that resilience is your identity. Not because anyone else is watching, but because you deserve the satisfaction of finishing strong. No one else can live your dream for you. No one else can walk your path. This is your story, your race, your legacy. Sometimes finishing means grinding through the days when you have no energy left. It means pushing past the pain and the frustration. It means staying loyal to your vision even when the applause is silent. That's where champions are made in the moments nobody sees. When you keep moving even though the finish line feels miles away. When you finish, you don't just achieve a goal, you transform your mindset. You teach yourself what you are truly capable of. You rewrite your story from one of struggle to one of victory. You become proof that persistence beats resistance. That strength grows in the fight. That dreams come true for those who refuse to quit. You owe it to yourself to finish not just for the destination, but for the person you become along the way. That journey shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and more fearless. And the only way to get there is to keep going, keep believing, and keep fighting for the life you have imagined.